beauties, it's Ari T. I haven't done a video like this since I first created my YouTube channel, so I wanted to readdress it in the light of a lot of the current events that are happening right now in terms of injustices against Black people and the questioning of our value in society. And it reminded me a lot of my own personal battle with self-love and acceptance that led me to my natural hair journey. Where I grew up was the very wooded, foresty area of New York State, and there were not a lot of people who looked like me there. And the ones who did share some resemblance to me didn't have the same type of hair as I did, so there wasn't really any sort of model to look to aspire to be, or to even do any sort of is this normal, is this okay type of validation of my own. And it really caused me to question my beauty, my value, and my place. After graduating from high school, I went away to college, a couple of hours away from home, closer to New York City. And while there, I was exposed to people who had more melanin and who had hair that was more similar to mine. And from the age of 9 through this time, I had a relaxer in my hair. And while away at college, I met a lot of people who had relaxers, who wore extensions, who wore wigs. I met girls with a relaxed hair that was the longest hair I'd ever seen on a Black girl. But this was all happening in 2004 and 2005, a little before the natural hair movement actually started catching some momentum, and even just the Black hair community in general really started picking up momentum. So this was really a time where nobody was open to sharing hair secrets or tips with anyone. So if a girl had nice hair, she had nice hair, and that was the end of it. She wasn't going to tell you about her regimen. Nobody even called it a regimen back in those days. This again put me in a situation where I questioned my beauty, my value, and my worth, because I was stepping into a situation where I didn't feel as though I was relating to the other girls who were my age and who shared my hair texture. There was no unity between us, and really no sense of solidarity, no sense of we're working towards the same thing, we're on the same team. None of that. It was really me trying to figure out who I was and place a value somewhere, and I really did not appreciate what I had to uniquely offer. And that caused me to make a lot of mistakes. My first couple of semesters of college, I did not perform well academically. I was not a good friend to anyone, because I was just very caught up in myself and what I could potentially do to make myself appear as though I was someone who could be accepted. I did sort of a reverse Waiting to Exhale. If you guys remember that movie, and Angela Bassett, she chops off all of her long pretty hair. I kind of did the opposite, where I stopped relaxing my hair and I just stopped paying attention to my hair at all. I was wearing wigs all of the time, and I was honestly hiding who I was behind a facade of what I thought I should or could be. That might be something that was accepted better in the world. When I was wearing loose curly wigs or straight extensions, you know, people would think that I was something other than who I was, which is just a Black girl trying to find her place in the world. They thought, oh, well, you know, maybe she is from this background or this ethnicity, and it kind of gave me something to cling to, some sort of an identity that I could feel proud of, as opposed to just being another black girl and not knowing what value there was in that. After college in 2008, I spent a lot of time pursuing a career in entertainment. I pursued acting and singing and things that I'd always wanted to do my entire life. And not that I regret making the attempts at doing that, but it wasn't really the right time in my life to do that, because I still didn't have any concept of my value or my self-worth. And by going into entertainment, it was just yet another outlet for me to put on a facade and claim to an identity that wasn't really mine, just something that was made up that I thought that other people would like and would make me seem more valuable. And during this time, in my post-college life, I at some point ditched the wigs, and my hair had grown long enough, my natural hair, where I felt comfortable cutting off the straight ends of my hair at home with like paper scissors. Again, this is kind of before like the excess of information on the internet about how to take care of your hair. So I cut my ends off and I started wearing twist outs all the time, and that became my new look. And once I started getting the validation from people in public and my friends and just everyone close to me and around me that yes, this looked good, and yes, they appreciated seeing me in that way, it was extremely liberating. Like, I felt so free. I felt as though I finally wasn't hiding anymore. And not to put it all back on my hair, but honestly, wearing my natural hair kind of changed my life, because for the first time, I didn't have to pretend to be something that I wasn't. From that moment on, when people asked me about my race or ethnicity, I told them I was a Black American, and that was the end of the conversation, because I no longer wanted to try to dilute the truth or to allow someone to assume something that wasn't true. I wanted them to know that you think that I'm a beautiful person, and I am a Black American. I'm representing Black America. And it was so empowering in a way that just literally changed my life. We're watching the news lately, and we're seeing these tragic events happen across our country. It's really important to remember that we are all humans. We are all one and the same. It doesn't matter how much melanin you have in your skin. We're all human beings, and we're entitled to the same basic rights and justices. And I would like to emphasize the fact that even if you are from another part of the world, Americans are all comprised of different races and ethnicities from across the globe. You live in America, you're creating your life here. We need to support each other and stand behind each other and empower each other to understand that being Black is not something to hide from. It's not something that we should be afraid to be walking down the street. And we need to make our voices heard and stay together. We have to stay together. If there's ever going to be changes in a positive way, do whatever you can within your own community, be it your school, be it your workplace, be it your church or your other religious affiliation. Come together within your own community to work towards positive change and solidarity. No one should ever feel insignificant or undervalued because of the color of their skin. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you who have subscribed to my channel and who have watched this long video. please comment below if you have anything to add to the conversation. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye.